Hi, everyone. I'm
Hi.
here with my beautiful sister, Karen.
Yay. So good to be with you in this conversation.
Yes, I am so
Mm.
excited because Karen and my name is Marcia, by the way. Karen and I were very synchronistically brought together. Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to look and see where in the Venus cycle we were brought together.
I
Um,
know, you're
I
right.
saw Karen was doing a presentation and I'm like, I have to go check this woman out. She's talking about heart and womb. And we're both here in
Mm.
Tampa Bay, Florida. And I hadn't really been exposed to many people who'd done it. So I went and made sure that I just wanted to check out what she was doing and who she was. And there she was.
Ah, and it was so amazing to have you there, and such truly one of those moments where you know that you're meeting someone, that there's going to be this evolution of friendship and conversation. We just right away felt that resonance with each other and found out that we were meeting on Mary Magdalene's feast day. It was the day, I don't remember exactly the day it was. Was it the 22nd then?
Oh no,
Or
it was yes, it was July 22nd and it was
yes,
a Friday. And of course, Friday is the day of Venus. And so our
that's
meeting
right.
our meeting in and of itself was
Ah,
inspired, inspires what's going on right now. Mary
yes.
Magdalene brought us together. The Rose lineage that Mary Magdalene is a very deep part of have brought us together to invite you to play with us and journey with us through this program, this event, this beautiful, I don't even want to call it that. I think it's like a yatra
Oh,
because it's a sacred journey or pilgrimage
yes.
through the
Yes.
ascent of the planet Venus.
Yes, absolutely. We've been having all these amazing conversations since we met about the Rose lineage and the divine feminine, and how the collective female experience is coming back into this experience of the divine feminine. And it's just natural that we want to share that energy and bring, others in to play with us in this amazing energy and around this really cool container of the Venus cycle, which we've been exploring. And it's just such a fabulous way for us to personally walk through, but also invite a collective experience around these really deep transformative energies, right?
Oh,
These really,
yeah. Yes, and
and
the other thing that is coming to mind is some of you out there might be like, oh, what is this Venus cycle? How how can it affect me? And I was listening to an astrologer who was saying that there are two very pivotal past dates of the cycle, and if you can go back to, hopefully, maybe you're old enough to remember what was happening to you in June 2004, and look to that. And you may have even gotten married. I met a man in June 2004 that I ended up buying a house with and was tied to for 18 years. I mean, it was huge. And then the other date was June of 2012. And we all know that 2012 was a very pivotal year in all of our lives in one shape or another. And so just even looking at like, oh, those dates, this gives you an idea of the influence of Venus in your life. And if nothing shows up or you can't remember anything, maybe this is the Venus cycle where these very transformative energies of the beautiful planet Venus come through. And also, Karen, like for me, Venus is about, from an astrological perspective, because we are aligning with the planet herself. She's about beauty, she's about love, but she's also about self-worth and self-esteem and what we value. And like that to me has been a huge, I don't want to say Venusian lesson, but it's certainly been a Venusian guiding light in my life from the absolute beginning. So, and what do you feel about that?
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. That's such a huge part of the Venus archetype, and especially something I've been really tuned into, and being a mother and having a 7-year-old daughter, and just all of the themes around, the female psyche, and the state of the female psyche in our world, and the state of the female psyche over the last, couple thousand years or so.
Yeah.
And, I do really feel the Venus cycle as being this integral part of reclaiming our personal self-worth, and also this collective sense of how we relate to each other in our self-worth, in our dignity, in our female spiritual power, and freeing ourselves from the shame, the guilt, and the distortion that has been so much a part of our collective story as women for a really long time. And like you said, those key dates, a lot of astrologers link those dates to this reemergence of this strong solar feminine presence on the planet, and this divine feminine energy coming through Venus as this guiding archetypal energy to connect us and to help us engage our personal journey, but also to bring us together.
Oh, definitely. I definitely feel that. And I love this work. I'm a Kundalini, I do teach Kundalini yoga. And so the chakras, working through the chakras and going through the Ascent cycle of the chakras is very near and dear to my heart. And do you feel it's time to bring up the slides? And
Yeah,
we can
let's bring
talk
up the
about
slides.
the cycle itself?
Yes, perfect. Yes.
Okay, and so let's go here and here. And oops.
Amazing. Yes.
There we are. Beautiful. Yay.
Yay. So we have this beautiful pictorial representation of the Venus cycle, which is so, of course, so beautifully represented as a rose. And, like you mentioned, the rose is what really brought us together. This Magdalene tradition that goes way back, has such ancient roots in the rose lineage, with the Egyptian goddess culture all the way up through Mary Magdalene. And I love this picture, and I love the depictions of the Venus cycle juxtaposed with the rose as these beautiful petals unfolding. So what you see here is, everybody, is an 8-year representation of the Venus cycle. So yes, as Venus moves through the sky and she does this retrograde thing where she appears from the earth to go a little bit backwards, and she's looping around and creating these beautiful petals of the rose in this perfect geometry, so that at the end of 8 years in the sky has created this 5-petal rose. So beautiful.
Gorgeous. Oh, I love this too. I just
Oh,
love all the
gorgeous.
synchronicities that come together. And
Me
so,
too.
I think there we go.
There you go.
So there's our next explanation of how
that,
things are working.
Yeah, I was just going to say off of what.
Do you want to go further into this, or do you feel good about your explanation first, or do we need to go more?
Yeah, that was good. And, just for people that are interested in some of the, here, go back one time if you would, okay. Marcia, and let me just for people that are interested, and, there is this beautiful parallel of the process that we're going to go through as we move through the gates with what Venus is actually doing in the sky. And that's what this slide represents, this period which we're now entering into at the very end on the bottom, where she's rising as an evening star. So some of you might know that if you look up in the sky right now, you can see Venus clearly as an evening star. And so this is where we are in this big 19-month cycle. And that's just kind of the starting point for where we will take off on our journey through the 7 gates, or the 8 gates rather, moving from the crown all the way up to, or the root all the way up to the crown. So very cool cycle that takes a journey through the underworld and is represented in the movements of Venus in the sky. This would take, right, Marcia? It's like to get your head around this whole cycle. I've spent it's like one of those things that just keeps unfolding and unfolding in our understanding, because we become disconnected from in our world and even in our right. So, but for people that are interested, we'll go into a little bit more of this along our journey.
Yes. Okay, and so the journey of Venus that we are going to be embodying is going to be that of the goddess Inanna. And so, like Karen said, we're at this phase now where we're working from the root up. We're on our ascent. And this is an 18-month cycle. So the last 9 months, if you've had like, oh, you felt like you are going to the depths. And, you know, we have these really potent South Node Scorpio eclipses where we are working in the shadow. And the good news is, guess what? We've hit the bottom. We've uncovered. We've done the work. And now we get to rise back up. And that rising, that ascent back up through the chakras, through the 7 gates, and then we're using the 8th gate of the soul star chakra, is the journey of the myth of Inanna. And Inanna is a Sumerian goddess who made that journey herself. And so we are also extrapolating parts of her journey going through the 7 gates as our 7 chakra journey, rising up to the top and to become the queen of heaven. That was her name. That's her title. She, as goddess, is the queen of heaven. And so we invite all of you, along with us, to become the queens of heavens in your own world. What do you think, Karen?
I love that. You know, I do.
Okay.
And I love the whole process by which we do that via inviting this current of energy into our bodies and really experiencing it, getting to experience, well, what does that feel like in our root? What does that feel like in our heart? What does that feel like when we move up into our gate of perception and our third eye and awakening our intuitive capacities? So what does that look like in each center of our body when we open and awaken and invite in? Oh, I'm on the next slide.
Because we're talking about them, so I moved.
Yes. What does it look like when we move up through these gates of Venus in our own bodies? And that's what I love about this journey, as you know, really mirroring Venus as an embodied goddess, as an embodied energy. And what does that look like as we're becoming the queen of our own life, our own body, our own perception, our own communication? What does it look like in our own daily lives and our relationships to reclaim that power gate by gate, to say it's all important, all these different facets of ourselves are important and worthy of our attention and our love and our care. And so this journey is really going to be about taking the time to walk that path of ascent in a grounded way, in an integrated way, but in a powerful way, in a way that allows us and gives us permission to go beyond, you know, who we've known ourselves to be, what any perceived limitations we've placed on ourselves, and to really blow open, right, this experience and expression of sacred feminine energy, of the divine feminine essence, moving through our bodies, in us, through us, as we initiate ourselves into this crowning experience.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, definitely. And for me, it's really also too, we're working we're working on this ascent. We're working as the Kundalini rising within ourselves. And here we are, we are creating a sacred container in group consciousness. And as everyone knows, when we work in group consciousness, focused on an intent, the results are exponential. And we change ourselves, we change the world. And so we have, as Karen downloaded, going through each gate, we're going to associate each gate with a specific goddess energy. And so the root chakra will be with Lilith. The sacral and womb chakra will be with two goddesses, Aphrodite and Persephone. And then we'll move up to the solar plexus, which is Athena. And then the heart chakra, Demeter, and the throat chakra, Artemis. And then the third eye is going to be, the sixth chakra will be Hecate. And then the crown chakra will be Anana, the queen of heaven. And the soul star chakra will be the collective goddess energy of all traditions coming into one from the rose lineage as the rose lineage. And so, yes. And so I'm so excited to work with all of these. And if any of you, are like, oh, well, I don't really know that much about this goddess or that goddess, no worries. This will all be, and you know what I found in doing these kinds of initiations throughout the years is that if there's no relationship, or even kind of like a kind of relationship, not so positive relationship, there's a lot of unfolding that goes on through this embodiment and initiatory process, working through the chakras and working through with the goddess and or the archetypal energy itself. To me, it is hugely self-revelatory in also integrating and welcoming in the goddess essence within myself.
Yes, such a great point to remember that, Venus itself is magnetizing. So this is not an intellectual experience that we're going to be going through and learning about. This is a magnetization of the kinds of experiences that'll be different for all of us, that will allow ourselves to be integrated within that archetype, within that energy. So this is a journey that is experiential and initiatory, like you said. So even if you know absolutely nothing about any of these goddesses or even the chakra points, this is a journey that is meant to be unlocked as we go and to get created as we go, that we'll be playing in. And I love what you said about the group intent. That feels really powerful.
Yes.
And so much a part of, what we're doing in modeling this journey after Inanna, understanding that this was a rite of passage and a group initiation that was practiced in ancient times together as a collective for a reason, because of that amplification of energy and the container of that gets created. So I'm really passionate about, reinstating rites of passage and group journeys together. And that's so much a part of what I'm excited about.
Me too. And I just want to mention that I was deeply inspired by some of this information, where I was first exposed to it by Kaylin K. Castell. And her, if any of you want to do further research, you can go to her website at venusalchemy.com and dive a little deeper into the astrology, because she's a shamanic astrologer. So Karen, are we through sharing?
Yes, I believe so. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, beautiful. And so now here we're back in full screen. And would you like me to go through and we can choose a beautiful oracle card around what we are setting the intent for here today and this
absolutely
call? Okay. So I just want to say The deck I'm going to be using, and anyone out there who's ever seen me or my videos knows this is like my favorite go-to deck. It's by Rebecca Campbell, illustrated by Danielle Noel, and it's a Work Your Light deck. And my friends and I are really, like, we don't even call it the Work Your Light deck, we call it the Rose Lineage deck. Okay, so this is the one we associate with the Rose Lineage, and so we're asking the divine guidance of unconditional love and the divine mothers and the goddesses of unconditional love to be here today. And what is our message here today? What is our message here today regarding what we are bringing forth and inviting you to participate with? Oh, I love it. Okay, here we go. This is just a small little intention. So the intention is birthing a new age.
No big deal. Just
No
a small
deal.
thing.
So we're inviting you to join us to birth a new age. And you know what? As Karen knows, with my astrology, I can't even begin to tell you how many astrologers I've worked with, and they're like, "Ah, oh, Marcia, you're not here for yourself. You're here for humanity." And with all the Scorpio and Pluto in my chart, it's always like, transform humanity. Let's transform humanity. And I've been saying this. Everybody who knows me I've been saying this for 15 years. And so yes, we're here to birth a new age. And let's see. It says birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And so what I'm really feeling is for each and every one of us that, yes, we show up to this journey to really work with the chakras, embodying this ascent, embodying everything that we have really, we on the descent, we let go, we surrendered. Now we're bringing the power and the gifts and back into each and every chakra. And when we do this for ourselves, when we are in sacred ceremony, allowing ourselves to commune with our own divinity, we are birthing a new age, because as within, so without. We create from the inside out. And so this is the work that is here to really inspire us to be even more so on our soul missions, and bringing this divine feminine goddess work within the context of the Akashic records, I feel, and within the energy centers of the esoteric bodies like the chakras, the etheric bodies like the chakras, is truly a part of my own work. And I'm so honored to be able to do this with Karen. And we're just two sisters who started a conversation about this stuff. And now, this is what it's ended up being. This is how we are creating a new world. And we invite you to create with us, and then to step out and create even more and more and more and more. This is, Venus is that divine feminine magnet that brings to us that the tools, the money, the resources, the bounty, the abundance to be walking our path in 5D plus reality.
Yes. And I'm really feeling like, that journey gets really grounded in our own self-love, our own self-worth. So as we walk this journey, and as we let go of and surrender the things that are in the way of our inherent self-worth and our inherent beauty, just exactly as we are essentially birthing a new age by being in that process. So what a beautiful card, and just a beautiful vision for, understanding that what we're doing goes beyond ourselves. We participate in the journey maybe for our own, reasons. We have the things in life that we feel inspired by, but to know that all of the healing and awakening work that we do is really affecting things on a bigger level, is so truly inspiring and motivating for us to, feel like we can really be up to something that's healing this world in a bigger way. You know, we see the disconnection, we see the breakdown, we see everything that's going on right now. And to be in an empowered place within ourselves and to have a container to be inside of, a group of women to gather with in that empowered state, is so highly medicinal. It's like, it's the medicine, it's the remedy for what we see outside of us that is in a state of chaos and disorder. When we create that order and that wholeness, and we decide to be intact in our own bodies, in our own skin, in our own divine story of what we're here to create, you know, we heal this planet. We do it somehow. We do it in the mystery of how those things happen, without needing to understand it, or, you know, we just get to live it. And I'm so excited, Marcia, to be doing this with you, to be like in this
Yeah,
unfolding
I'm like,
conversation.
oh my gosh, if all we could have gotten, you know, I'm like, oh, I kept on feeling yesterday that this was the message that was going to come up, because I do feel that this is, and also too, it's birthing a new age. So this is the womb work. This is the womb wisdom, where we are coming through as women, coming together and making a conscious choice in communion with spirit to birth this new age together.
Yes.
Love, I love that. I love that. I'm so honored to be working with you and being invited to work with you, Karen, and just meeting you and meeting whoever is able to join us, and join us live in particular. That would be so awesome.
That would be so amazing. And yeah, just as a practical thing, if you can't make it live, if that time just doesn't work for you, we will be offering the recordings of our gatherings, and also, you know, creating means of connection so that we can all be connected on this journey. So don't let that stop you if you happen to not be able to make it live, because you know, being on this journey in real time with us, one way or another, is going to be really transformative. You know, I mean, we feel it, we know it. We really want to invite some other sisters into that. We're doing it no matter what.
Right, yeah, exactly. We're going to birth a new age. We're doing this. We're setting our intention right here, right now. And so we will be here on December 22nd at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time to start that, and, you know, 7:30 Pacific. So, you know, we will be here because I am completely inspired and motivated as part of my personal soul mission to birth this new age. I am so ready. I've been around the timeline and the lifetime block thousands and thousands of times, and been in, you know, mired in the lower dimensional energies that we are now leaving behind us. And I am excited to be here. My guides have called this time the cosmic party. And I'm excited to be here for the cosmic party of welcoming in the highest vibrational frequency of the Aquarian age.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely love it. Such a beautiful, such a beautiful thing.
And what do you feel now? Is anything coming through to embody this birthing a new age?
Yeah, well, why don't we, one thing that I think is leading into that, you know, and in response to something that you said around, you know, these big collective energies at work, and what sort of flashed through my mind too is how much Pluto is a part of this particular cycle. Pluto and Venus were so close together when Venus went retrograde and started the cycle. Then we went through that hugely transformative Scorpio eclipse season, and there's so much that is being asked to let go and surrender right now, you know, in preparation for how much there is to claim. And I think, from the embodiment perspective, that can be a lot for people. It can be a lot to hold a lot of that energy. It can feel at times overwhelming. You're talking about the Aquarian age. So much of these super high frequency energies are sort of available to us right now and coming in, and they're in our field. And for those of us that are sensitive, whether or not we understand what we're picking up, we are picking up these super high frequency energies right now. So as someone really tuned into the embodiment aspect of this work, a lot of what I would love to bring to these gatherings is this deeply grounded and anchored sense of being really deep in our bodies and really practiced at moving through our breath as a really, grounding and anchoring vehicle by which we stay connected to our bodies, stay connected to the ground. So much of this work, even back through Inanna, so much of this is a shamanic journey, and the shamanic journey is so connected to the earth, so connected to being able to tune into the frequencies of the earth beneath us. And so I just want to say, for those of you who may feel overwhelmed by this or overwhelmed by this energy, that, we will be keeping this energy grounded in our bodies through breath and through really settling ourselves in. And maybe we can just take a couple of breaths here together, whether you're watching this video, or for us, Marcia, just right now, just to really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I invite everyone to join us together as we do it, to ground what we
To
do
ground.
here today.
Yeah.
And ground and embody it, integrate it.
Yes. So to do that, and we just naturally have our hands on our heart now to just really anchor all of this energy into ourselves and into the cycle of our breath. So taking a breath in to invite wholeness, to invite integration, and exhaling even out of the mouth, just to settle and to ground anything that still feels fragmented or any anxiety that might have arisen in the body. Just to feel that with each exhale, we can really settle down all the way from the crown of the head down through that energetic channel of our body, down through the throat and into the heart, and really just landing there in the heart for a moment. And letting the awareness slide even deeper down towards our root, our seat, where we find ourselves grounded and anchored on the chair, on the cushion, wherever we are seated. Feeling all the way down into the feet and just allowing the feet to feel connected to the ground, to the earth underneath us, giving us an anchored, felt sense of containment, of nourishment, of feeling completely safe and held within the space of our own bodies. And breathing into our beautiful, creative womb space center, allowing ourselves to feel, again, deeply nurtured by our beautiful female form, And by the intimacy that's allowed to us through this very simple practice of meeting our own breath in and out. So may we be grounded and anchored to the earth, even as we invite in these powerful currents of initiation and transformation, sometimes energies that can shake up our lives a little bit, that can disrupt and dissolve parts of ourselves, parts of our lives that aren't in alignment with our deepest truth. And may we be grounded in our bodies, grounded in our breath, that we can allow these big energies to work upon us, knowing that they are always for our highest good and the highest good of those around us. And so we say, yes to the journey, knowing that we are held in such safety and support and depth of divine love. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Karen. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Marcia.
And those
what
are
a
a little
joy.
taste. That's a little taste of what we'll be bringing to the program, to the offering, to this, sacred journey. This is a yatra. This is a pilgrimage of the divine feminine. As we, as individuals in humanity, make the ascent up the 7 gates with these every time Venus meets the moon in the sky over the next few months.
So beautiful. So excited.
Yes, me too. Is there anything else that we need to chat about before we close?
Feel complete. People, we've given the date of the December 22nd as when we'll be gathering live. So we'll provide any information, that people need, or, of course, we're open to any questions that anyone has about the journey. But hopefully this was a great introduction, like you said, to give people a little taste of, what it's going to be like to play in this field and in this journey.
Yes, absolutely.
So grateful for you and for our meeting, the synchronicity that brought us together and that has just continued to unfold, just synchronicity by synchronicity and conversation by conversation to bring us to this moment.
Absolutely. So many blessings and so much love to everyone out there. And
absolutely.
If you, we would love to have you join us.
We sure would. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Hope to see you soon.